All right, so you have a question. What is your question?
How many people do you get over like a year?
Okay, well, I can't. That's a really good question. And I actually know this one. In a month, we see about 600 guests. So times that by 12, so that you can see how many guests we have per year. Um, we have different volumes, but on the average, we see about 600 people a month between all of the stylists. Yes.
About how many money do you get each month?
You know what? That's a great question. Let's just say it's growing. Our salon is growing with stylists and productivity. So you definitely see more of an increase. But when you see more of an increase of money, that means you kind of have to spend a little bit more to get a little bit more, as in advertising, as in more product costs, things of that nature. So, on the average, we're doing good. Money-wise, we're doing well. So, yeah. Yes.
How many people you get every day?
Every day, I would say on a daily, we probably see about 25 to 30 guests a day, depending on how busy we are.
How many styles do you have every day?
Good question. We, on an average, usually on Thursday, Friday, Saturday is our busier days. So on those days, we have 8 stylists on the floor. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably about 3 to 4 stylists, depending on the volume.
Like, never mind.
We'll come back to you. Who else has a question? You guys are doing so good. Do you have a question? No question? What about you? Do you have a question? You have a question.
How many people work here?
Good question. We have 8 stylists and one front-end coordinator. Yeah.
When was this place built?
That's a really good question. Well, Salon Nathaniel has been in business in my ownership for 2.5 years, but I actually bought it from the previous owner. She had it for 18 years. So about 21 years. We've been building. Yes.
Who was the first person who made this kind of?
Who kind of booked this all together? Well, me. I've been here for 10 years. So I was with the old owner, so she kind of mentored me and taught me everything I know. I had no idea about business. I just kind of learned by watching her, being with her. And, at one point she said to me, would you like to buy this business? And at that point I felt comfortable enough to say, yes, I could. So then I took over. So I taught myself a little bit. Yes.
Who was the first person that worked here?
Oh my God, the first person, well, she's actually still here. If you want to see the first, we'll have to go visit her in a little bit. She's actually on the cutting floor. Her name is Karen. Yes.
How much products do you guys have?
How many products do we have? Good question. Well, we have 2 major product lines. We have Redken, we're an exclusive Redken salon, and we have Pureology as well. So those are our exclusive products. As far as inventory-wise, you're looking about, in between the color in our back room, maybe about 2,000 pieces of product that we carry.
Have you ever styled celebrities?
Yes. In our community, yes. Not yet, but I'd like the opportunity to. Yes.
Wait, I forgot.
Okay. Yes.
Was this a salon before you bought
You mean
it?
this business? Actually, no. It used to be a pewter shop here. They used to do medals and things like trophies and stuff like that. And when my old owner came to this spot, she kind of transformed it into a hair salon. Okay. Yes.
What do you do to become a hairdresser?
That is such a good question. Should I relay that to you? Okay. Well, in the state of Connecticut, every state is different. Every state has its own requirements. In the state of Connecticut, you need 1,500. Is it 1,500 hours? 1,500 hours of theory and practical. So you have to go to school. Like Brianna is a product of Wilcox Technical School. So she went there for 4 years. And then when she graduated the high school part, she was also a licensed hairdresser. So you guys could do it that way. Or you could do what I did, where I went to college first, graduated with a degree, and then I went into hairdressing school. And it took me about 2 years to do. But you need 1,500 hours, and once you have those hours, the school lets you go and take the state boards. And you have to pass, I think right now it's a 100-question test that you have to take, and if you pass it by 70, you get to be a licensed hairdresser. So, what's your first name?
Jean.
Jean, I'm Nate. So if Jean was my new client in the salon, what I would do is go up to her and say, hello Jean, it's so nice to meet you, with a nice firm handshake. So very important, you always want to have a nice handshake, and she has a good handshake. I would direct her on where she's going to go. So I would say, Jean, come over here and sit in my chair. You want to hold this for me? Sure. Okay. So the first thing that I would do is, now Jean has never been here before, so she's kind of entrusting a lot of trust with me. So I would say to Jean, you know, what are you having done today? And you would say, I'm having a haircut. So I would say, well, how much are we going to cut off today? How much do you want me to cut off today?
I don't know.
Just come up with something.
Inch.
1 inch, okay. So now her 1 inch might be different than what my 1 inch would be. So what I would do is, excuse me, I would grab my comb and I would kind of show her. I would kind of show her what an inch looks like, and I would say, Jean, does that look okay for you?
Yes.
Okay, so I got her permission to kind of continue with the service. And then I would say to her, well, are we going to be doing layers, things like that? Layers would be cool. Any kind of a side swept bang? Yeah? Okay. So after kind of doing the consultation, getting her permission, I would bring her over to the shampoo area, and we would start shampooing and conditioning and talking about what she usually does on like a daily basis as far as like hair care and stuff like that. Now, do you shampoo every day? You do shampoo every day. That's good. And condition too. Cool. So then when she came down to my station, what I would do is unwrap it. I would be more prepared with this. Okay, so I'm not going to take her hair down, but what I would do is section her hair. I'll just hold up a couple of different things. I would section her hair, subsection it, cut it, bring it to different areas, cut different areas of it, and to give her that total look that she's really looking for. Then I would start blow drying. I would blow dry with either my blow dryer, probably a couple of like round brushes and stuff like that. I would, because her hair looks really thick and coarse, yours does too, I would probably use the flat iron on it to give her that look she's looking for. Sometimes when I have a new client in my chair, I ask them to bring in pictures. So if we go through pictures, if she wants to look like Kim Kardashian or Beyonce, she would bring me in a picture and I would say, okay, your hair, you could do that. Or maybe her hair can't do that, so I kind of have to break the bad news to her, like, oh, your hair can't really do that. So I would be like, you know what, let's pick something different that your hair can do easily. The whole thing is about maintenance. And then the other thing too is, how much time in the morning do you want to be spending doing your hair? Like, do you want to spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a half an hour? Like an hour? Some people do spend that time, and some people don't mind spending an hour. But if you're like, you know what, I work hard at my hair, I'll spend an hour doing it, then I'd be like, okay, this girl's determined. She wants to make her hair look good. So she's going to have the flat brush. She's going to have the blow dryer. She's going to have all this and work hard at it. And the other thing, too, is we want to talk about price. Whenever I'm consulting with a new guest, I'm always telling them how long they're going to be here for and how much they're going to spend. Because the last thing I want to do is have Jean in my chair, give her a great experience, a great Salon Nathaniel experience, and then have her get up to the front desk, and then she's bombarded with a huge amount of money that she just spent. And that experience has been shattered. So I always tell Jean, you're going to be here for 45 minutes. Your shampoo cup blow dry is going to be $45. And she either says yay or nay. If she says no, then we'll say, well, we don't have to blow it out for you today. It will be $33. And then she's like, okay, I'm happy. So then we can get on with the experience, right? Kind of cool. So that's kind of what we do. And then the most important part is, through the whole entire process, I talk about shampoos, conditioners, different styling aids, find out what she's using at home, and then I kind of recommend certain things to her. So if Jean was really interested in a certain shampoo or conditioner that I was using, I could recommend that to her. She can buy it and experience that at home. And then we want to make her an appointment like 8 weeks down the road so I get to see you again. Isn't that wonderful? Pretty good, right? Any questions? Yes? Good question. Well, it is Salon Nathaniel's $20. And what we usually do is, let's say Jean was a new guest to my salon. She's leaving, she had a great experience, and we want her to refer her friends. I would give Jean a couple of these with her name on the top, my name in the middle. She would refer all of her friends and her family who have never been here before. They take $20 off their service. Next time I see you, you get $20 off your service.